5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space, with news and information on our U.S. space program. Is your host of About Space, David Denard.
Welcome, and thanks for joining me today for our continuing series of Return to the Moon to Stay. Well, here's some exciting news. NASA has selected Masten Space Systems of Mojave, California, to deliver and operate 8 payloads with 9 science and technology instruments to the Moon's South Pole in 2022 to help lay the foundation for human space expeditions to the lunar surface beginning in 2024. The payloads, which include instruments to assess the composition of the lunar surface, test precision landing technologies, and evaluate radiation on the Moon, are being delivered under NASA's Commercial Lunar Payroll Services, better known as CLPS, an initiative as part of the agency's Artemis program. I'll be back with an interview with David Masten, the founder and CTO of Masten Space Systems, next on About Space Today. Are you ready to fly away on a dream vacation? For cruises and all-inclusive resort vacations, call D&D Cruise and Tours at 877-747-8631. That's 877-747-8631. And see us on Facebook, D&D Cruise and Tours, where your dreams become a reality. Welcome back. The founder of Masten Space Systems is really no stranger to space exploration. David Masten explains his company's mission.
Something we call Zeus, and basically it's a lunar lander for NASA for landing on the Moon or Mars or doing close approaches to asteroids, which is a really interesting project. This is really we believe the right thing to do for the nation and the nation's space program. So we really want NASA to actually take ownership of it. I think NASA can take this over and really make it part of what they're doing. They have something they can land on any one of the asteroids. It can land on Deimos, Phobos, Mars, Moon, wherever you want to go. We can make this work for that, and that's really what's exciting to me. It's like this is a multi-purpose landing vehicle.
But Master's design is different. The XL-1 can land horizontally.
You've got the payload on the front end of it, and it's actually down close to the ground. So you can, make a small ramp, and you have very easy access for a rover, for people walking off onto the surface, and you don't have to pull all sorts of stuff down or up. You don't have to have these cranes. And so it just makes it a lot easier. And you already have most of the hardware built. So it's not a huge, massive development project. Even better, it fits on top of the SLS, or an Atlas V, or a Delta IV. So you can launch it using just about anything that's out there. It fits within a standard payload fairing.
The $75.9 million contract includes end-to-end services for delivery of the instruments, including payload integration, launch from Earth, landing on the Moon's surface, and operation for at least 12 days. Masten Space Systems will land these payloads on the Moon with its XL-1 lander. With more on the lunar surface instrument technology payloads is Washington Bureau Chief Rick Potluck.
Masten Space Systems will deliver and operate 8 payloads with 9 science and technology instruments. Those 9 instruments to be delivered are the Lunar Compact Infrared Imaging System called LSIRIS, a device that will measure infrared wavelengths of light in order to map the Moon's surface, among other things. The Linear Energy Transfer Spectrometer called LETS, which will measure the radiation of the Moon. As part of this system, a flexible camera called Heimdall will be used to model the soil and other material that will make up the top layer of the lunar system. The Moon Ranger is a small robotic rover being sent to demonstrate communication and mapping technology. Its purpose is to move long distances along the lunar surface without communication to the Earth. The Moon Ranger will carry the neutron spectrometer system, which will measure the hydrogen concentration on the Moon, a possible indication of buried water. The mass spectrometer observing lunar operation, called M-SOLO, is a device to measure potentially accessible resources on the lunar surface. The near-infrared volatile spectrometer system, called NIRVS, is a tool to measure surface composition and temperature of the Moon. The Laser Retroflector Array, or the LRA, is a series of 8 small mirrors to measure the distance and support landing accuracy. The LRA requires no power or communication from the lander and can be directed by future spacecraft orbiting or landing on the Moon. The sample acquisition, morphology, filtering, and probing of lunar regolith, or simply sampler, is a robotic arm that will collect samples of the lunar regolith. Regolith is a layer of loose heterogenic superficial deposits covering solid rock. The sampler will demonstrate the use of a robotic arm that can filter and isolate particles of different sizes. This technology makes use of a flight spare from the Mars Exploration Rover project. Reporting from the Washington News Bureau, I'm Rick Potlock.
NASA has contracted with 14 American companies to deliver science and technology to the lunar surface through completed task orders. The agency plans to issue at least 2 such task orders per year through which companies can propose to take various payloads to the Moon. Well, join us for launch coverage and more. For details, see us on Facebook at aboutspace.today. Thank you for joining me, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and share our program with your family and friends. Join me next week. I'm David Denault, and this has been About Space Today.